Hi, my name's Leanne Shawler. I'm a writer and an artist, and today we're talking about a small plotting issue that has come up and what's been happening with writing the fourth and final book of the trilogy for the Mordragai Chronicles. So I've attempted to recover some of the plotting footage because a plotting issue has occurred. I still need to decide the piece of magic as to whether the prophet can bond with just one-to-one like he did with Thea at the beginning of River Trembles, or now that the court is formed, that any bonding that occurs brings that person into the entire court, or if the whole court known at the time needs to be present for each bonding, because so far it's just been Thea and Leah doing the bonding. I'm thinking now. Thea and Leah bonded first, and then they had the great examination to discover the other Dragaimor who would have that chosen mark that signified them as a member of the chosen court. I know, it's very inventive. Since then, with each new member, they've bonded at the same time. So Ondine and Maeve got bonded in. So I'm wondering if Lear can do a bond on his own, or if indeed whoever's in the chosen court needs to be present. I think we can make that work. Just him and Josie. I think we can make that work. I was scheduling some Substack posts for the new serial A Sword for Wellington. And I was just, doing that last little proofread before I hit the publish button, and there was Lear saying that the bonding required both the prophet and the monarch. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess he and Josie just can't bond together after all. Thanks, Lear. Thanks so much. So I may need to do some replotting, which, hey, we knew that was coming anyway, right? The other thing is Lear is protesting about the current direction of my plotting, so I've just offered it up to him that maybe he should just try it and see if he likes it before, complaining any further. So it's open. So things may radically change from what I initially plotted, but hey, apparently I'm a pantser when I write, so the book has its own ideas. I just wanted to share that. I haven't done a whole lot of writing on the book this past week. In fact, none this past week. This is right before I go on my trip. I've been writing for the 30 days fantasy prompts, and I haven't been doing all of them. Like, I'm slightly at less than half, but still. Getting some good story ideas for another serial of mine, Horiath, for future Obsidian and Flame stories. So that's great, but it's not book 4. Do not expect to do any writing whatsoever while I'm gone in New Zealand. I will probably just noodle and daydream and think some things through, and then get back to it seriously when I return. There was one thing I didn't get to in the plotting session, and I mentioned that I thought I had a list of ideas or thoughts from when I did a final read through of the manuscript of things that would be good for book 4 or needed to be tied up or sorted out for book 4. Only I hadn't written down that list. So I thought just before I left for my holidays, I would go through that manuscript one more time and see if I could find those notes. And I did indeed find a few of those. And so that has been added into the plotting mix as well. Yay. This is the flashback to the corrupted footage coming up next, and that is me talking about another issue with this fourth and final book, which is the structure. There's also some issues with how I'm going to structure this, because if there's so many threads. There's like Gwen and Hugh and the sword, there's Jasper and his quest, there's Lear and his quest, there's Thea coming to terms with all sorts of things. It's a lot, and I'm a little worried because it's a week-to-week thing that people aren't going to be able to keep up. A Sword for Wellington might actually be the true test for that. It's also just a matter of putting the scenes in the right order. So I'm thinking that timeline-wise, it's pretty straightforward. It's just going to be a matter of how to present that at the end as a serial. I may take a leaf out of Simon K. Jones's book. He's over on Substack. If you ever want to write a serial, he has the lowdown on how to do it on Substack. Highly recommend. His I think it was like 3 or 4 years length serial. He would do like stories within the biggest story. So you could like follow along for a few weeks and manage to piece it all together yourself. I'm still beginning to read that. I haven't got very far into it. I think I'm a few months in. So I'm back from my 2.5-week holiday in New Zealand. I'm sharing some footage of a couple of places here in Rotorua and the Hooker Falls. Also went to Hobbiton, of course. I'm going to share a separate video on that one because it's fun. But I did absolutely no writing on book 4. I wasn't planning to. I thought I might do 2 or 3, more fantasy prompts while I was riding on the plane. I wasn't expecting to do anything on the bus because I didn't think I could ride on the bus and not get car sick. And yet, lo and behold, I wrote 5 stories. And the shortest one I think is about 1,200 words, and the longest is close to 3,000 words. So I did quite a bit of writing. And now the challenge for me is to get back into the flow of book 4 this week. So I'm just going to read over what I've done so far, have a look at some changes that I've made, and then we will crack on. So hopefully by the time you see this, I'll be writing on book 4 again. And now I'm going to give it back to past me, who is going to wrap up this vlog. So thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please check that like button, subscribe if you're interested in continuing on this journey of finishing book 4. I will be talking to the camera as much as humanly possible as I write this. I don't know how regular it's going to be. I discovered as I was filming this that I don't talk a whole lot while I'm thinking, so it may be more of the, oh, I'm stuck, what do I do now? Or just perhaps I'll just check in and let you know that I've done 3 chapters. Won't that be exciting? So I'll figure it out. If you have any advice to give in this regard, please comment below. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, so I will see you next time. The next thing I think will be the making of the lap book for A Sword for Wellington and the other stuff. So that's quite a lengthy piece of footage as well that I have to edit down. Enough rambling. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day or evening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.